A municipal judge in Montrose ruled against her bosses a few weeks ago. And they're not her bosses anymore because they fired her. Even the city manager admits this is a bad look. Our Julissa Arizari has the story.
Right. It's not every day a clerical collar finds itself in court. But on this late February afternoon, the Montrose Methodist Church got their miracle.
Kevin, how are you feeling?
Relieved.
Okay.
That's Pastor Kevin Young moments after an emergency abatement hearing in which the city attempted to shut down a shelter church members started in their courtyard.
Yes.
That day, the congregation learned the camp could stay, thanks to a ruling made by Erin Maxwell, a municipal court judge who 5 weeks later got a judgment of her own when the city she ruled against fired her.
What's up with that?
Paul Zanger's a member of the Montrose Methodist Church. He and others learned about the firing this week. It took place back in March in a midday special city council meeting. Was this in retaliation?
Absolutely not.
Montrose City Manager Bill Bell says the termination was 2 years in the making.
We're having some communication issues and kind of understanding roles and responsibilities in the way of setting salaries and wages and different things.
Are you aware of how it looks?
Yes. So council had asked me and the attorney's office about the optics, knowing that it could look a different way. So we did talk about that.
It just doesn't pass the sniff test.
Sierra Anderson is an employment attorney. She says this departure raises red flags, and she worries about the ripple effect it will have.
And it sends a very dangerous message that government employers can punish judges for fulfilling their duty to govern without political influence.
And if the city is going to manipulate circumstances so that they can penalize anybody, that anybody could be in trouble.
Zanger understands why many people are feeling uneasy about this. As the church faces another day in court, he's hopeful it will be handled fairly.
We walk with God, and we'll see where we go.
Zanger says the church has a bench trial scheduled for the end of July. This is to tackle the 30-plus citations the city ticketed the church. Zanger says the ticket penalties amount to about $80,000. Kyle.
So, Julissa, back to this judge. City manager says they've had problems with her for years, but they just happened to give her the heave-ho right after she rules against them.
Yeah, and I asked the city manager that as well. Why didn't you terminate her after year one if you were having so many problems? And he said, well, they hoped that the communication would get better, and they said it did, but then it got bad again.
This is an interesting story on a lot of different levels. Glad you're following it, Julissa. Thank you.